Sign these documents. Now, her mother-in-law slammed the papers so hard the dinner plates rattled. You are a liability, an embarrassment wearing my son's last name. Sarah's hands trembled. 7 months pregnant, she stood at the head of her own dining table surrounded by 40 guests, business partners, family friends, all watching, all silent. Her husband, Daniel, sat 3 feet away, his arm wrapped around the woman his mother had pre-selected for him. He met Sarah's eyes for exactly 1 second, then looked away. Sign them tonight, or I will make your life unrecognizable. The mistress smiled. Sarah's baby kicked hard against her ribs as if warning her, as if knowing. What none of them knew, Sarah quietly owned the patent portfolio that made Daniel's entire company worth anything at all. What she did next erased 11 years of Hargrove family wealth in under 60 seconds. Before I continue, I need something from you. If you've ever been made to feel small by someone who needed you to stay small, hit subscribe right now. Then comment below just these words, I see my worth. Every single subscription sends this story to another woman sitting in silence, enduring what she believes she must endure, who doesn't yet understand that patience is a weapon and she's been holding it all along. Don't skip this. It matters more than you know. Now let me take you back to where it all started. Sarah married Daniel Hargrove believing she was gaining a partner. What she gained was a performance review that never ended. His mother, Margaret, ran the household like a boardroom. Every morning, Sarah received invisible feedback through sighs and loaded glances. The coffee's too strong. You're showing too much. You embarrass him at dinners without even speaking. Daniel never defended her. He was fluent in his mother's silences and translated them into his own behavior without ever acknowledging it. You're too sensitive, he'd say. Mom means well. Sarah stopped arguing after month 4. She started documenting instead. A notebook, then recordings, then encrypted files stored on a server no one in this house knew existed. Have you ever been told you're overreacting so many times you started believing it? Sarah had, for 22 months, until she stopped believing it and started building. The dinner tonight was a celebration. Hargrove Technologies had just closed a licensing agreement with 3 overseas manufacturers that would make Daniel's company worth $400 million on paper. Margaret had orchestrated everything: the venue, the guests, the seating, the narrative. Daniel stood at the head of the table looking like legacy personified. Sarah had been placed at the far end, near the kitchen, close enough to refill glasses, far enough to disappear. You should stay home tomorrow, Margaret had told her that morning, referring to the investor ceremony. No one needs to see you waddling across a stage. Let Daniel have this moment. Sarah had nodded. She was very good at nodding. What no one at that dinner table understood was that every manufacturer in that licensing deal used proprietary sealing technology. And that technology had one owner, not Hargrove Technologies, not Daniel. Sarah's father had invented it. He died leaving everything to his only child, who quietly licensed it forward under her maiden name through a holding company called Mercer IP Trust. Daniel's legal team had negotiated for 6 months with a company they never looked up, never traced, never questioned, because who would think to ask the quiet, pregnant wife standing near the kitchen? Sign them. Margaret slid the divorce papers closer. Sarah looked at the documents, then at Daniel. Then at the 40 guests watching her humiliation unfold in real time. She picked up the pen. The room exhaled. Then she set it down. Before I sign anything, Sarah said, her voice clear and completely steady, I think the partners from Meridian Group should know something. She reached into the small clutch she'd carried all evening and withdrew a single folded document. She slid it toward the 2 men at the center of the table, Meridian's lead investors, who had flown in specifically to celebrate tonight's agreement. The sealing technology in your licensing deal belongs to Mercer IP Trust. I am Mercer IP Trust, and I'm withdrawing consent for use, effective immediately, pending contract renegotiation. Silence, not the polite kind. The kind that arrives when a room full of powerful people suddenly understands they've badly miscalculated. Margaret's champagne glass slipped. It didn't shatter. It simply rolled off the table slowly, like the evening itself. Daniel stood. That's not possible. You never asked, Sarah said simply. Have you ever watched someone realize they handed their enemy every weapon they needed? Meridian's lead partner asked to speak with Sarah privately within 10 minutes. They renegotiated directly with Mercer IP Trust over the following 3 weeks. The new deal was structured entirely under Sarah's terms. Daniel's lawyers sent 11 letters. Sarah's lawyer responded to none of them until the custody framework was finalized exactly as she required. Margaret never apologized. Sarah didn't need her to. 8 months later, Sarah sat in the Mercer IP Trust offices, modest, warm, filled with light, nursing her daughter while reviewing expansion proposals. Her daughter's name was Clara. She had Sarah's eyes and, according to everyone who met her, an expression of absolute unimpressed calm that made grown adults slightly nervous. Sarah liked to think she came by it honestly. If you've ever been dismissed, diminished, or told to make yourself smaller so someone else could feel larger, this story is for you. Subscribe, share it with one woman who needs to hear it. And remember, the quietest person in the room is sometimes the only one who actually knows what's happening. Sarah knew. She was just waiting for the right moment to say so. Drop a comment below with 3 words that describe who you're becoming. I read every single one.